swift.
What do we potentially have on the cards here? Pakistan is supposed to be the game that ideally you would have wanted to kickstart your World Cup campaign. 286 is still a score, but these days it's not the score that it once was. A couple of 68s that we thought brought Pakistan back on track, and then they lost it at the top and they lost it at the tail. They've ended up with 286. We'll find out what kind of score that is at halftime on Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricket for Matchday. We'll hear from Urooj Mumtaz very shortly. Dale Steyn in studio with me. 286, who's happier at halftime, Dale?
Oh, it's neck and neck right now,
Yeah.
I'd say. I think Netherlands will be excited about this. You know, I think they themselves would have thought, looking at the pitch, they're playing against Pakistan, the scores that happened there the other day in the warm-up games were 300 plus, and they were probably saying in their camp, anything under 300, guys, it gives us a chance, especially with the fact that they played in Zimbabwe recently and they were able to chase down scores of 300 plus. They'll feel confident that this is a below average kind of target, that if they get a couple partnerships going together, this is something that they can get.
Would you sense that that would be Pakistan sentiment too, Urooj? We should have got more. We feel like we've not got the score that we're capable of getting.
Oh, for sure, 100%. I don't think there's any argument or debate with regards to Pakistan falling short with the bat. I thought they were too tentative, too circumspect, rather than make an impact against, like we've been saying, no discredit to Netherlands, but the relatively inexperienced opposition against quality or top-ranked sides. Pakistan failed to do so. Fakhar Zaman's troubles with the bat, again, he looked out of sorts completely. Imam ul Haq has had trouble with a shorter one when it's with pace, and that's what undid him. Babar seemed out of sorts, but Rizwan and Saud came to the party again. But one of them had to carry on and score that big 100 to get that 300 plus score. And I think if you told Scott Edwards at the toss that they'd be chasing 286, I'm sure he'd taken it with both hands up front.
Yeah, they have chased well in the qualifiers. Urooj makes the point of being tentative or circumspect. It's a dangerous thing to be against an associate side these days, isn't it, Dale? From the last, say, 10 years to now, the minute a team like the Netherlands smells some kind of hesitation or blood, they're all over you.
Yeah, you almost want to kind of go harder at them, really, and then you kind of send a little bit of fear down them, and then they kind of go out of their game plans. You know, teams that haven't been around at the highest level, they talk a good game, they before the game starts, but once they start playing, if you hit them hard, they start to have that self-doubt. Maybe we don't really belong here, even if it's just a seed that gets planted in their mind and they fall just behind the game. And that's where good teams kind of capitalize. But Pakistan just kept losing wickets at crucial times. Just when you thought that they were supposed to build a partnership, bang, they lost a wicket, and Netherlands were back in it. And they were back in it. And, you know, Ryan Cook is right out of that Gary Kirsten mold. He's worked under him before. And they're another team that's much like New Zealand. They do all the right things really well.
Take all their catches, run-outs affected.
Exactly. They did all of that really well today. Bowled a lot of good balls, obviously the odd bad ball here and there. And then just constant pressure on Pakistan. And when they needed a wicket, they somehow managed to come through.
And this is also, I guess, as we almost have a recurring theme from the Asia Cup, Urooj, when you have the kind of batters that Pakistan have at the top of the order, that to one of them, not in form, and Fakhar Zaman, becomes harder to do what Dale is saying, because we know this is the template. If you want to try and show the associate teams where you stand with them, you got to boss them, and Pakistan just don't seem to have the batting for it, or do they, and they just didn't show the intent.
I think it's the latter one that you say. I think it's the lack of the intent or the ruthless approach, and that's been a constant factor. We discussed it in the Asia Cup as well, that aggressive mentality is something that is missing. I mean, look at the names on paper. You've seen what in the past what Fakhar can do. Then you got Babar. Then you got Rizwan as well. They top ranked players, and when they come good, they look exceptional. But I think it's that killer mentality which is missing from Pakistan. Like Dale is saying, all they had to do was instill that bit of fear with some aggressive shot making or trying to take the game on. And then if it doesn't come off, you still have the fallback option, and you back yourselves as a top quality batting unit to still stabilize and still score the 286 or somewhere around that. And it was quite the opposite. But what the Netherlands did well was they delivered the basics with exceptional discipline. It wasn't something out of the box that they did. They were very good with their captaincy. Their fielding and catching was brilliant. And there was just disciplined bowling. And Pakistan faltered to that, which is, again, is a big, big concern.
Let's talk about the Dutch bowling. Basteleda with 4 And the crucial part was, Dil, that after Pakistan seemed to get a partnership between Rizwan and Saud Shakil, 120 odd, he found ways to get wickets. What worked for him?
Just bowled nice and straight, landed the ball in the right area, asked the right questions, and essentially waited for the batters to kind of make mistakes, you know. And he hit the top off stump, he found the outside edge of the bat, he got an LBW. It's kind of what a bowling coach is asking of you, you know. Just stay there and thereabouts, wait for the batter to make a mistake. This is the highest level. And you put enough pressure on guys, they're going to try and create shots that are not there to play. Good players often hit good balls for 4, but sometimes good balls also get batters out, like is what happened today. And Bastelera showed that if you're consistent in an area on this wicket, for him, it really worked and paid off. Yeah,
he's improved as a bowler. I don't know how much you would have followed of Bastelera, but it's always hard as an all-rounder to keep enhancing one skill set or the other. He's getting runs. We saw that in the qualifiers. But as a bowler now, he seems like someone you can almost bank 9 or 10 overs. Not a lot of fast bowling all-rounders in the world you can say that about.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty impressive. And then watch him go out there today and score, you know, a match-winning 60 or 70 like he's done in the past. You know, you never know.
I'm looking at Urooj's reactions on that. Yeah. All right, fair enough. If it had to happen, it could very well happen. Take me through the other side of it, though. Urooj, it looked like Rizwan and Shakil were set, and they should now take it deep. Was that just clever or smart from Netherlands? Where did Pakistan miss a trick once they found a way back in the game?
Yeah, again, I thought Saud Shakil was caught in between. I think it was almost premeditated, having done the hard yards for both of them, lost wickets at crucial times, and one went after the other. And Iftikhar followed as well. So Pakistan completely lost sort of their path there. But that's where, I mean, Saud Shakil, yes, still relatively new on the international circuit, but Rizwan's been there for a long, long time. And I was looking at numbers in the last 10, 15 innings. He's got those scores, 70s, 80s, 60s. But it's that point when you're batting at that crucial number 4, and if you've got wickets tumbling around you, it is on to you to score that big 100 and then take the game into the 40th, 42nd over. That's when then Iftikhars and your Shadabs and Nawaz can take the attack on. And that's the difference between the 280s and the 320s that we talk about. And that's Pakistan's consistent problem when they lose wickets in the power play. So I just thought when Rizwan had come in, and even Saud Shakil, both of them should have carried on.
Assessment of the surface, is this a difficult surface?
I don't think
Challenging surface?
No, I don't think so. I think it's a pretty good surface. I think just nobody kind of kicked on to score a big 100. You know, and maybe back in the day you always thought that somebody somewhere along the line would score 100 and well batted. But in the modern day today, you expect that on good surfaces that anyone in your top 6, potentially even 7, should go on to score 100. Almost every single game we're expecting someone to do that because scores of 300 plus are so common. And if no one is able to do that, and that's not what happened today, like a Rizwan or somebody, if they kicked on and scored a 120 or 130, you know, Pakistan would have reached that 330, 340, which would have been, you know, a total that I feel is kind of out of reach for Netherlands. But no one just kicked on. You know, I think the surface is pretty good. Netherlands found ways to get wickets. And they still found themselves scoring almost 290, which is, you know, it's a good score.
That's evidence as well, though.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's probably not par. It's like 30 or maybe so runs short of what would be par.
Sure. I know that two cricketers often say the same surface differently. Let me just get a quick comment on Urooj, therefore, on it. I'm sure some of the batters would be saying, you know how batters in our part of the world are, Urooj, when they don't get a score, they'll find all sorts of demons in the surface. So did you see any?
Well, I mean, Saud Shakil scored at 130 strike rate, and he did it with absolutely no fuss at all. So I don't think there were any demons in there. Yes, very earlier on the ball, because of this dryness, gripped a little bit. But again, like I said earlier, it was Netherlands being very disciplined, and none of the Pakistan batters tried to disrupt that. Dale made a good point that they just were consistent. But good batters sometimes will use a crease either laterally or charge down the wicket to change the angles, to create the angles. And that's how you take the game on against, if you want to be top ranked size and win global events. So I really don't think there was much in the surface apart from just Pakistan being too tentative.
Yeah, it wasn't a long time back that Pakistan were the top ranked side. It just seems to have gone horribly wrong since then with injuries, and it seems like the form as well on a good surface. I guess the big question would be, someone who may not have watched that innings and then seen Babar Azam 5 of 18 against the Netherlands. How do you explain that? What did the Dutch do right to keep one of the best batters in the world quiet?
It was probably tough in the start. It seemed like it was just a little bit sticky. Good bowling, nice and straight, good plans, fielding in nice and tight. Fielders are a lot closer. You know, they were looking to take wickets. That's something that from the outside, we probably don't notice, but that mid-wicket is in a little bit closer. He prevents you from getting one. The lines are nice and tight. You can't open the face of the bat and just find those singles inside the first 10 overs. And all of a sudden, Baba's pressured to play a shot that he, on any other day, would probably get over that fielder and go for a one-bounce 4. But today, 15, couple balls and he hasn't scored any runs, just mistimes it, bang, and he's out. Yeah. And that's what pressure does to you.
So that's credit to the Dutch then, Urooj, who came prepared for when Babar Azam comes out to the middle.
Absolutely. I mean, even yes, their template is to open with the off spinner, but with the left-handers on strike and with the ball just gripping and turning, they got it absolutely spot on. Even with Fakhar, I thought it was Logan Van Beek who sort of just changed the pace because Fakhar likes the ball coming out of the bat. With Imam as well, the short ball ploy, Babar sometimes does become tentative, especially when early wickets are on and the ball spinning into his pad. We've seen the wrong one undo him, the off spinner as well today. So I just thought, I thought Netherlands were exceptional. I still, however, feel Pakistan does have a very good bowling attack, but they will have to be very good in the field.
Right, let's go straight to that then. You would still say with Shaheen Afridi, Haris Rauf, and now Hassan Ali with his experience, Shadab Khan, this is a good enough bowling to defend this. What do they need to get right though?
They're going to have to get the ball in the right area. I watched Mitchell Starc bowl against the Dutch the other night, and left arm seam bowling 145 k's an hour. It's just something that they probably haven't faced. That angle is new to them. They would probably face a lot of guys that are right arm over the wicket, but left arm swinging the ball back in, it really does test their techniques. And a lot of them not falling over massively, but they were caught falling over, exposed that front leg in their pegs. And that's how Mitchell Starc got that hat-trick the other night. And that's exactly what Shaheen Afridi is going to try and do tonight. You'll see he's going to target those stumps. He loves targeting the stumps when that ball's swinging. And I've been at Hyderabad. At the twilight this evening will probably be the most difficult time to bat. There'll be a half an hour, 45-minute period there where the ball will swing and might even do a little bit extra, and then it'll become good for batting. But can the Dutch handle the 145 plus from Shaheen Afridi bowling at that front leg? And the nightmare of what Starc did the other night will be fresh in their minds. So that could be the decider for them right there.
What do you sense they would have learned though from that experience against Mitchell Starc? I'm sure you would have had the sort of conversation. But yeah, this could happen with Shaheen. So what do we need to do differently?
They'll probably look to just make sure they get that leg out the way a little bit, open their stance a little bit more, look to hit the ball back down the ground and be a little bit more patient. The first 10 overs will be the decider for them. If they can get through that 10 overs without losing a couple wickets, they can push on, and they've shown that they can push on and chase down big scores. But it's that first 10 overs, that initial blow from Shaheen Afridi. If they can get through that, we could have a game on our hands here.
Yeah, choice of new ball partner to Shaheen Afridi, Urooj. It's a different sort of bowling attack that Babar has to go with, and you almost think like Babar has to get everything right. He has to be on the money here with what we now, I think, have established is a below par score.
Yeah, I think he'll go on with Hassan Ali, as we saw in the warm-up games as well. Wasim Julian, obviously not in the side. Haris Rauf likes to bowl in that middle period and then towards the back end as well. So I think he'll open the attack with Hassan Ali. And I think just continuing on from the point that Dale's making, that Shaheen Afridi and then Haris Rauf. So you've got two express bowlers. So even for Netherlands to chase this down, yes, sort of play out Shaheen Afridi and then still being able to contend with the 150 plus from Haris Rauf. I think those two will be the impact. But it is the World Cup stage and Netherlands have absolutely nothing to lose. And they have chased down 374 against West Indies as well. So
yeah, they did. Oh, they're giant killers, the Dutch. Do not take them lightly, and they're very much in the game. Dare I say now, it's time for a prediction. Dale Steyn.
I'm going to say that it's going to be a close game, actually, but I think Pakistan will just get over the line. If they try not to take wickets, because there's a fine line, between holding pressure and the Dutch, how long they can handle that pressure for, and going searching. If you go searching, I think the Dutch will get flying. But if you can hold pressure and bowl straight, then I think Pakistan will just get over the line.
I had this ready for our pre-show. We ran out of time, but it's perhaps worth just bringing up here. I'm sorry, Urooj, I'm bringing it up, but the catching efficiency is a stat we have for Pakistan since 2018. Just for the conversation, for what it's worth. It's not like I'm bringing it up now and hoping it happens, but they've also got to be, that's 32 catches dropped and 82.3%. So that's better than what it was till 2020, but we did see the entire assortment in the Asia Cup. They've got to have possibly their best day in the field, make sure they don't give the Dutch a chance at all, don't they?
Not just today, every game they play, Pakistan in the field, you will have to stick. And again, this is a World Cup, no games light or no games strong. I think equal points for every win that you carry. So that is something that Pakistan will have to pull their socks up and get right all the time.
Prediction, Urooj, you expect them to get the job done?
Yeah, you expect Pakistan to get the job done. Definitely a better bowling side. And then again, in the field, they'll have to be very, very clinical. Babar will have to be smart with captaincy, which has been kind of under the test for a while. I still feel Pakistan will get over the line.
Yeah, tell you what, my top four had Pakistan in it pre-tournament. But it'll be so Pakistan if they just lose to the Netherlands and then that kickstarts their tournament. So I'm going to say the Dutch. But that doesn't mean that Pakistan are going to have a terrible World Cup. It means that now their World Cup will begin and they're more dangerous going forward. Right, Dale Steyn, Urooj, Mumtaz, thank you very much. More from you at what promises to be a really good game. It's a heck of a story if the Dutch manage to pick up their first points and beat Pakistan. On the other hand, Pakistan getting the job done here after what was a disappointing effort with the bat. Who knows, that might also just revitalize them and get their World Cup going. So we'll have analysis at the end of the game on Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricket for Matchday, and do download the mobile app if you haven't already. There's plenty going on already in just 3 innings in the World Cup, and we've got a double header coming up tomorrow, and we're far from done today. We'll see you at the end of the game.
Stunning looks, then swift,